Hey everybody, this is Mr. Regener, and I wanted to make this quick video for you. I hope it'll be quick, to show you how to make a map. This is the Map My House project, where you're able to select your house or your dream house or really any building to create a map. We want to use some of our map skills, some of the things we've been learning about in social studies, to make sure our map is complete. So I hope to kind of take you through the process of making a map. Kind of watch me go through that process, and hopefully that'll kind of clear up questions you might have. Alright, so first, I'm not going to make a map of my house, but as a videographer, sometimes I get a chance to do some different kind of jobs. And so maybe about a year ago, I was able to do a quick video for a real estate agent and made a video of a house that was for sale. In doing so, I also took like a 360 virtual tour of the house, which is pretty cool. And so I thought I would just use that house. I thought it was pretty good. The rooms were all rectangular and pretty easy to map out. And so that's what I'm going to show with you here. So in just a little bit, I'll show you what that house is. I think it's important to know kind of the layout and see it visually. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to take that real life house and put it down on paper in a map form. So a couple things I really want to make sure that I include. They are our cardinal directions. So I want to think about which way is the house facing, which way is north, which way is south, that kind of thing. And I'm going to put a compass rose on my map. I want to make sure that I'm including a scale. So for example, we're going to see a dining room that is about 10 by 12 as far as the size. I can't make a 10 by 12 dining room on paper to be that size. I have to scale it down. Alright, so I want to make sure it's to scale. So I'm going to show you how you can do that as well. I'm going to make sure that all of the items in the house that I can represent on the map, I can do so by using a key or a legend. So for example, if there's a couch in the living room, I want to indicate that couch on my map, and you'll be able to tell that that's the couch. Alright, that's my goal anyway. Alright, so really I want to come up with a map that's going to be useful for others to see. They should look at that map and say, wow, I think I know where to go to navigate through that house. Alright, and then I also want to include a title. The title of your house can be really simple. It could be your house or your house map, and that would be simple enough. If you want to make it fancier or different, you can. Alright, so without further ado, please check out this kind of virtual tour. You can see the house that I'm going to be mapping out, and then after that, I'll map out the house on paper and show you how that's done. So I wanted to take you into this virtual tour of a house. And so this is going to be a house that I'm going to look at and design a map of, a floor plan, if you will. So you can kind of see here in this house, we have like a front door area with some stairs. And then as you kind of peek around the corner here, we have a living room. And so here's the living room. I'm going to pop into this living room really quickly here and maybe give you a chance to take a look at it. So noticing some of the features inside this living room, there's some chairs, there's a couch, right down here is a table, kind of a big window over here, there's a fireplace over here, and over here we've got this like built-in thing. This is a really nice house. I'm going to go back over here and down this little hallway, and over here we've got a kitchen. Now in the kitchen, it's a little bit, set up with your countertops and your sink and your stove. And there's our refrigerator around here somewhere. Keep on going around the corner here. And there's our stove and microwave, and there's the refrigerator. And you can see too, this kitchen has like this extra bit of space for, I don't know, whatever, cooking, I guess. And then if I pop into this room over here, we now have what I think is probably used as a dining room. So I'll just kind of scan around. Hopefully I'm not making you sick with my quick angles here. You can see it's basically just a rectangular room in this house. Not much furniture in here. They were looking at selling the house, so it was kind of cleared out, but there is that little bureau or buffet kind of thing. And then that loops us right back over here, which is that front door and the stairs and the foyer area. Alright, so this is the house that I'm going to use as kind of my model, I guess, that I will create a map for as a part of my demonstration video. Now, one thing to note is that we want to be able to estimate. I'm going to go back to my dining room for a second, because it's a nice rectangular, just boxy room. I think it'll be really easy for me to draw this as a big rectangle. Now notice that this wall from here to here is smaller than, let's say, this wall from here over to here. I'm just estimating the size because, you know, I don't need it to be perfectly exact, but my estimate here is that maybe this wall over here was 10 feet long, right? And you'll never know the difference, so I'm telling you it's 10 feet long. Over here, got some background helpers here. Over here, I'm going to say this wall is maybe 12 feet long. All right, now that's going to be important for me to make a scale. I can't make a room that's 12 feet by 10 feet on a piece of paper, but what I can do is scale it down so that each one of those feet represents a certain size. So maybe I'll say like 1 inch on my paper is equal to 3 feet. I could do that, right? This wall right here would then be 4 inches, and this wall over here would be 3 1/3 inches because it's 10 feet long. All right, that's going to be important because we want to draw this to scale, or as close to it as we can to scale. Now, I mentioned in the dining room there's not really much in here, but there is this piece of furniture. So I could estimate the size here and be able to draw that into my map as well. Now, it just so happens that in this house, it faces this direction. This is like the front of the house. Over here is the front door. This direction is actually, let me think about it now, east. So this is east going this way. I need to know the direction of my house. So if this is east, guess what? This wall over here is facing north. And you guessed it, this wall over here is facing west. And then this wall over here is facing south. All right, so we want to be able to know our directions for our house as well. That way we can put that compass rose in there and make it very special. Another thing we want to include in our map is going to be a title. Now the title of this house, I could say, oh, I don't know, like my house. Even though this isn't my house, this is a house that I shot that somebody was looking to sell. And so this is kind of what we're looking for from the Map My House project. Now if you don't want to do your house, you can make up a house. It could be your dream house. And whatever you want to put in that dream house would be perfect. I'm going to go back to that living room really quickly as another example, and you'll see this on my map. In that living room, here we go, you can see there's some furniture. I want to kind of take note of where that furniture is and the size of that furniture so that I can record that on my map as well. Now, I don't need to be able to draw a perfect couch and chair. I can just use shapes and colors to indicate what those things are within the legend on my map. All right, so let's get to the map here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I have a ruler here, and a ruler will usually have, let's see here, inches on one side and then the metric system centimeters on the other. I can really use any mode that I want to use, I guess. I'm going to choose to go with inches, and I think I mentioned in the video, I'm going to stay consistent with it. I'm going to say that 1 inch on my ruler, and I know it's kind of hard to see on the video, but 1 inch is going to equal 3 feet. I kind of like that idea. So I'm going to use my pencil now instead of the Sharpie. It might be harder to see, but I know a pencil I can erase if I make a mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and sort of speed the footage up at this point so you can kind of see my method without having to watch the entire process, because it's a long process. This is going to take some time. I want to make sure I'm being neat with it. So I'm going to start with my dining room. Alright everybody, I have finished my dining room. Woohoo! Now at this point it just looks like a big old rectangle. I did measure, so this is about 10 feet for this wall, which means if I'm keeping it to scale, if each inch is 3 feet, that's 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, and then I went about 1/3 of an inch to give me that extra 10th foot. Same thing on the other wall. If this is 12 feet over here, I'm keeping that scale. So I have 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, 12 feet. So about 4 inches for that. All right, now I'm gonna kind of work over here. Again, going to my draft. I'm gonna work over here on this like entryway, stairway area. I'm gonna go and hit on the living room as well and wrap it up with my kitchen. So I'm just kind of drawing out the outside walls of those rooms. I'm not concerned right now at what's in those rooms. So again, footage will be sped up because this is a long process. Alright gang, check it out. I've got now a really basic layout here of my house. Just going back to my original plan, dining room, stair room, entry, living room, kitchen. I now have it laid out here. Dining room, this is that entry room, that hallway, this is the living room, and down here is my kitchen. Alright, so obviously I am using the same scale for all of these. I'm using that scale that says 1 inch equals 3 feet. So I feel pretty confident that I can include that scale on my map here. And I'm just going to write down that 1 inch equals 3 feet. I'm even going to include 1 inch right there on the map. I think that's going to be really helpful for anybody looking at this. They're going to be able to really see that 1 inch is there. So 1 inch equals 3 feet. Alright, that's my scale. That's an important part of the map for somebody to read it. Alright, the next thing that I want to do probably with my map here is to think about all the objects that were in the rooms. Alright, so as an example, one thing I'm looking at here is this entryway. There were the stairs that were located, right over here. Kind of drawing them super lightly here. And so now I'm going to use my ruler because I want to be neat. I don't want to turn in something that's going to be really sloppy and messy. I want to take my time to be neat. Does that mean I'm going to finish it really quickly? No. But it does mean I'm going to have a nice, neat product at the end. Alright, so I'm blocking out this as my stairs. Now as a way to indicate that those are stairs, I'm going to put a little design on here, and it's just going to have horizontal lines. Now, these horizontal lines kind of look like stairs, so it sort of makes sense that those are stairs. I need to provide, though, a legend or a key that's going to let somebody looking at this map know, okay, horizontal lines, those are stairs. So I'm going to put my legend down here. And I'm going to say anywhere that you see these horizontal lines, those are stairs. Now it just so happens that in my map, there's only one area that has stairs, so that's going to be pretty easy to find. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing and come up with at least 6 different things that I'm going to identify on my map. I'm thinking of my living room here and those chairs and the couch. I'll probably identify those. The fireplace as an example, maybe I'll identify that. Over here in the kitchen, I certainly could put in our countertops, our sink, our refrigerator, some of those things that we saw as well. And so for each thing in the legend, I can maybe give it a design like my horizontal lines. I could give it a color, and that's going to make it stand out. Or maybe a particular shape, if it kind of works out for me. Alright, last thing here that I want to show you while I'm talking on the video is that I don't have doorways. Do you remember there was like a doorway here? It wasn't even a door, it was just an opening. And then there was another opening right about here. Actually, probably a little bit further, but about there. And then there was like a doorway here in the kitchen, from the kitchen to the dining room as well. So, and then a front door up here. I want to kind of put in those doors. I can put in windows. Remember the big window in the dining room? It's kind of up here. So I can kind of like give myself an idea of where those windows were, where the doors were. I think that's going to be helpful too to anybody looking at this map to be able to navigate and see like, okay, this is the doorway where I would go into the living room. This is the doorway where I can go into the dining room. Alright? if you wanted to, like for example, the front door was like a door that swung open, and so you could put like a little, almost like a picture of a door swinging. Same thing for this dining room. That door kind of swung open. These other ones, they didn't have doors that actually opened, so what I'll do is probably just end up erasing those lines to provide the openings. Alright, so I'm going to keep on working on this, and then I hope I can flash the final copy up here for you. It probably will look a lot nicer and neater even than the copy you're seeing here. Before I do that though, one thing you're going to see in the final copy that you don't see here is going to be a really important thing that's super easy. It's the title. The title of my map is probably going to be My House. Again, this isn't my house, just a house that was for sale that I filmed, but that's a good title for your map, and that's one you can use. If you want to make it more specific, you can do that. So I hope this has been helpful, just kind of watching my process of making the map. You notice it's a long video. That's because this is a long project. It's going to take some time. It's not difficult, it just takes time. So take the time necessary to do a good job on your map, and I'm excited to check it out. So again, I'll flash the final copy of that map right here on the screen, and hopefully this motivates you and inspires you to do your best on this project as well. Alright, thanks for watching everybody, and have a great day.